The Fargo-Moorhead real estate market is a unique one. And to succeed in a unique market like this, you need to know what type of market it is for both the home you're buying, the home you're selling, and you need to know how to take advantage of that. In this video, I'll be breaking down everything you need to know about this Fargo-Moorhead real estate market and how you could take advantage. I'll be going over what makes it unique. I'll be going over an overall breakdown of the market so you understand kind of how it runs. Then I'll also be going over different sectors of the market so you understand everything you need to know when you're buying your home. Everything from a $100,000 house up to $1 million plus. I'll be breaking it all down for you in this video. There's a common misconception I see people have here in this Fargo-Moorhead market. They want to time it perfectly. There's no such thing as perfect timing in this market. You just need to make a move when the time is right for you. You don't want to get caught up in the mainstream media. You don't want to get caught up in different things. You don't want to get caught up in real estate agents telling you the best time to move is now, because it's maybe not the best time for you to move. The best time for you to move is when the time is right for you and when you feel comfortable and when you're ready to make that move. Now, whether that's in the next 90 days, you're trying to get moving as soon as possible, or if that's 6 months from now. Now, this video is just to break down the market so you kind of know how you have to approach it when you do decide to move. This isn't a video to force you to move now. This isn't a video to kind of force you to move at a certain time or recommend you move you at a certain time. It's just a strictly informational video so you know that when you do move, you have all the information in your hands possible to make the move the best move possible. Now, that's just what my role is. I am a real estate agent, but I'm not here to tell you the best time to move is now and you should list your home with me right now. If you want to list your home with me, that'd be great. But if not, that's fine. Make the move when the time is best for you. Don't listen to outside people's opinions. Look at your own situation, obviously ask for advice, but don't let other people tell you how to live your life. Just live your life and move when the time is right for you. Now that we got my motivational speech of the day out of the way, I'm going to start to break down the stats here in Fargo. So first, I'm just going to be going a little bit over the overall stats here in Fargo. So as you'll see on here, it is a seller's market here in Fargo. And we kind of already know that there's low inventory here. They'll look at the number of homes that are currently on the market, and then they'll determine how long it would take all those homes to sell if homes stop coming on the market today. That's what this months of inventory is, 2.58 months of inventory. So let's say, for example, homes stop coming on the market today. It's going to take 2.5 months for all the homes on the market to sell, and there are going to be none left. That's how that number is determined. When the number is a balanced market, I say balanced market with quotation marks because the Fargo-Moorhead market, it's never going to get back to balanced market. It's always going to be a seller's market just with the low inventory we have here. So don't let the fact that it's a seller's market scare you as a buyer or scare you as a seller or whatever it is. Again, just move when the time is right for you. I'm just here to give you information. Next, just take a look at the median estimated property value. So Fargo, the median estimated value is around $350,000. The point of this graph is just to see the affordability, and we can also see how it's obviously a great investment to buy a house. You can see that price is constantly rising. You'll see homes will increase on average 3 to 6%, give or take, per year. Once you start to pay that loan down and that starts to compound year after year, it's a great investment, a great way to make money when you need to pay that money to live anyways. You need somewhere to live, so why not make it a great investment like living in a house? Now, if you think the time is right for you to move right now, we help people move to, from, in, and around this Fargo-Moorhead region. We've helped countless homeowners sell, and we've helped countless people buy a home. If that's something you're interested in, you can reach out to the cell phone number on the screen now, give our team a call, give us an email, shoot us a text, whatever it is, and we can get started and make sure this move is great for you. Now, this next graph is an important one. This is the months of inventory graph. That's why I talked about earlier. This is how they determine if it's a buyer's market or a seller's market. So we can see it's 2.58 months of inventory right now. Last month changed down 10%. So we can see a couple months ago, actually in August, we had the highest months of inventory here in Fargo we've seen in over 3 years. So what this tells me as a real estate agent is it's been very crazy. There's been a lot of activity, a lot going on ever since we had COVID. But now that tells me the market's starting to even out. It's starting to even out, so maybe there's more compromise between buyers and sellers. Because before, if it was a really, really heavy seller's market, then you're selling your home. Most of the time, if you're selling a home, you need to buy a home too. So you were paying over asking price on the home that you're looking to buy, but then you got over asking price on your home you were selling. So now this kind of makes it more even, where you'll get close to list price on your home, and you'll also be able to buy a home with confidence, knowing you're not going to have to waive inspections. You're not going to have to pay way over ask price. You're not going to have to worry about appraisal problems. So that's what I think makes it great, that this market's starting to even back out again, and make it great for all people moving, whether you're buying or selling. With low inventory, obviously better for sellers because there's less options for buyers to choose from, more competition. But it's not like this year round. That's what people think. That, oh, it's a seller's market all the time. When am I ever gonna buy a home? That's what they say. Well, actually, there's different parts of the time where it's better for you to buy a home here in Fargo. Obviously, with low inventory, yes, it may be better on the seller side, but you as a buyer can still take advantage and you can still get a deal and you can still get into your home that you love and you like. Now, also, you gotta know about the new construction here in Fargo. Fargo is growing a ton. There's a ton of new construction happening. There's a ton of homes being built. There's a ton of communities being built. There's a lot of stuff happening down in that region in the Southwest Fargo, Horace, South Fargo area. There's a lot of new construction happening. So you gotta know what the market is like when you're buying a new construction home compared to a previously owned home. What's the differences in the market? How can you take advantage of whatever one you're doing? You need to know these things because there's so many different niches in this market. It's a very unique market in that way. Then you also gotta know this market is very, very seasonal. In the winter months, you're not gonna have as much activity. But as you can see later on when I talk through this video, through some of the stats, that brings opportunity for you. Then again, in the spring and the summer, there may be more inventory available, but you're gonna be more competition. There's gonna be more competition on those listings. So you just gotta know kind of how this market runs, so then when the move is right for you, when the time is right for you to move, you can do it the right way and to take advantage of the market that you were in. Now that you got a good overview of the market and what to expect, I'm now gonna be breaking it down into 3 different tiers. There's kind of 3 different sections in this Fargo-Moorhead real estate market. You have the $350,000 and under range. So you'll see a lot of first-time home buyers in these, moving up to a second home. Then the next tier, you have the $350,000 to $500,000 range. So again, here you'll see a lot of maybe second or third home, a home people are gonna be sitting in or staying in for generally a long time with kids, more space, that sort of thing. Then above that, we have the $500,000 plus range. So more of the luxury homes, the bigger homes. See a lot of these down in South Fargo, Horace, West Fargo, also all throughout the whole entire Fargo-Moorhead area. But those are kind of the 3 different tiers of the market that I'm going to be breaking down now because they all are actually very different. First, we'll start off with the under $350,000 range. Like I said before, this is the one where there's a lot of inventory for first-time home buyers. A lot of first-time home buyers in this market. And the thing is, there's a lot of competition in this sector of the market too, as you'll see as we go through all these graphs. So you'll see, again, months of inventory. We already talked about it. We saw for the overall Fargo market, it was like 2.5. But now, for this sector of the market, it's 1.3 in Fargo. So if you can just think of that, imagine how fast homes are coming on the market, homes are moving. Imagine how many buyers are in the market when the months of inventory is 1.3. There's hardly any inventory and supply in this sector of the market, yet there's a lot of buyers. So that's where a lot of competition comes in. Moorhead is 2.1, still low, but we can see how this months of inventory really affects the competition in this sector of the market. Next, again, to the new listings. We see, as you'll see throughout all the graphs in this whole video, there's kind of 3 distinct hills on these graphs because it goes back 3 years. There's a lot more properties in the summer, a lot more properties in the spring, especially in this March, April sector of the market we have coming up here in a couple months. Then, as it comes to the winter months, starts to tail off, get low, and that's where we hit the low point. We saw 2 months ago in December, we hit the low point for 2024. In January, look how much it's already jumped up from January to December of last year. So the market, this number is going to keep rising. There's going to be a ton more new listings coming on the market, but there's also going to be a lot of buyers on the market. So you have to know that if you're looking in this range, that you need to be prepared and move quickly. That is a huge thing. You need to make sure you're prepared. Because you know what I don't want to happen? You go and look through a home, you fall in love with the home, but you haven't been pre-approved yet. So while you're waiting to get pre-approved, someone else walks through the home just like you did. They fall in love with the home, and they snag up that home before you can even get pre-approved and get an offer in on that home. So that's why it's very important to know the market and to know how to move and how quickly to move. You need to make sure you move quickly with efficiency and be prepared, especially in this sector of the market where everything moves so quickly. So we can see homes for sale. There's a lot more homes for sale in the summer, but in the summer, homes move faster and there's more offers on homes because there's more buyers in the market. So that's a common misconception I see a lot of people have. that, oh, there's more homes available, there's more opportunity for me as a buyer. Not necessarily. There is more inventory available, so more options to you. Maybe if you miss out on one, there may be another one that is very similar. But you also gotta know it's a give and take. You'll see me explain that the rest of this video. It's always a give and take. You take the fact that you get more inventory and more options for you, but you're giving the fact that there's more buyers and more competition in these months of the market. This is extremely reflected on this graph here, which is the days in market graph. We can see this is a big attribute on how fast homes are moving. Now, in a home in this price range, typical closing from the time a home goes under contract is 30 to 45 days. As we can see, the days on market, like earlier this past year, it was hovering around 30 to 40 days. So think of how fast people are getting into homes, getting tours on homes, and looking at homes when the average days on market is 30, 45 days, when the average time from under contract to close is 30, 45 days. So you can think of that to think how fast people are actually moving, how fast people are going out and putting offers on homes. This is where the competition comes in because everybody's moving with so much urgency. So if you're planning a move in this price range later this spring, make sure you get connected with an agent like me or another agent on our Living in Fargo-Moorhead team to make sure we have you prepped, prepared, and ready to move in this Fargo market to make sure you take advantage as a buyer. And you can reach out to the number on the screen or shoot us an email. But again, on this graph, we can see the days on market. Right now in the winter, it's 68 in Fargo and 94 in Moorhead. That gives so much more opportunity for buyers. I'm personally a huge advocate of moving in the winter, and I'll tell you 2 reasons. Number 1, no one else wants to move in the winter. I get it. It's a blizzard. I don't want to move when it's negative 40 below. But some people may sacrifice that for a really good deal on a home or to find the perfect home. Now, it's a give and take again, like I mentioned before, but it's the opposite for this one. You give up the fact that there may not be as much inventory of the perfect house, but you're going to take the fact that no one else wants to move in the winter, so you can take advantage of a buyer. And think about it. If someone's selling their house in the winter, they're probably pretty motivated to sell because no one wants to move in the winter. So that's just one opportunity that I think a lot of people may overlook, but I get it. I don't want to move in a blizzard either. Next, this graph will also show how many competing offer situations there are by average list price. Because likely, if a home is listed, people aren't just going to pay over list price unless it's competing offers. So you can see here, 100% is right here on this graph. It routinely gets above and below 100%. So that means there's competition. The days on market get super low when it's a hot market, a lot of people moving, and a lot of multiple offer situations. So again, make sure you have someone knowledgeable on your side and you're prepared when you're making a move in this sector of the market. Again, we can just see the closed sales. We can see the same thing we saw, the 3 hills going back 3 years to show how busy it gets during the summer compared to how slower it is during the winter months. This month of January, 25 in Fargo and 15 in Moorhead, we can see that number routinely gets above 60 for Fargo during the summer months. That just shows how many more people are moving during those times compared to right now. This was a little overview of the 350,000 and under range. Some takeaways. There's a lot of competition. This is the busiest sector of the market here in the whole entire Fargo-Moorhead area. So you need to know that if you're planning a move in this sector of the market to be prepared and to move efficiently and with confidence. Next, we're going to go into the next sector of the market, which is the $350,000 to $500,000 range. And these are the homes, people are going to stay in for longer on average, based on what I've seen. You think about someone's life, maybe they're buying 3, 4 houses. This is probably the home that they're going to stay in. They're going to have the kids in while they're in school. They want a big house. They want to have the right house where they can just kind of settle in and live their life. So this is kind of that house where they're kind of moving up from the first house and having a house they want to stay in and keep that equity building. We can see months of supply again. Now think back, we can think the overall market was around 2.5 and the 350,000 and under market was like 1.5. Now we see there's a little bit more wiggle room in this sector of the market with 2.2 and 2.3 in Fargo and Moorhead respectively. So you can see this part of the market is kind of the middle of the market. It's not super busy like the 350,000 and under range. And as you'll see as we go on, it's not as slow as the $500,000 plus range. There's still a lot of activity in this market and there's still a lot of active buyers. And you need to know that, just not as crazy as the other part of the market. Every single graph I'll go through this video, there's 3 hills for the past 3 years showing the market difference between the summer and winter. Like I talked about before, Very seasonal market here in Fargo-Moorhead. We can see in the summer months, new listings, this is just new listings coming on the market, not counting listings that are already on the market, getting above 50 last year for Fargo. And it stays above 40, 50 in the summer months and spring months. There's a lot more homes coming on the market during this time compared to the winter months, where 25 right now in Fargo, and it was already down to like 15 last month in Fargo, North Dakota for this price range. So this is something to keep in mind, that there's going to be more homes available in the summer, less homes in the winter, more competition in the summer, less competition in the winter. That is pretty much, if you don't take anything else away from this video, just take that away. No, that's what's going on in this Fargo-Moorhead real estate market. We can see again, homes for sale, 52 right now in Fargo. So if you think back to the other graph, you can see it got over 50 properties in 1 month for the city of Fargo. But now in January, 52 properties total on the market. So you can just think of how much more activity there is for both buyers and sellers. And if you think about it, people who are likely buying in this range are probably selling in the 350,000 and under range. So they're able to take advantage of all the buyer demand that's in that sector of the market to be able to roll it over into this home, into this sector of the market. I'm not saying there's no competition in this sector of the market. There definitely is, which you'll see on the next couple graphs I show. But that's kind of the general thing we'll see, because 99% of the time, if someone owns a home and they're selling, they're probably buying too. Now this is another important graph that will show the days on market, how quickly people are moving. And you'll just immediately notice it's slightly slower than the other sector of the market. We think back, the other one was like 30, 45. This one's closer to 40 to 50 to 60 days on market, kind of average throughout the whole year. So you can think there's still competition. It just gives you a little bit more time as a buyer. You still have to be prepared and be ready to move, but there's a little bit more wiggle room compared to the other sector of the market, which was the 350,000 and under range, where all the competition was. You can see right now in Fargo, 72 days on the market, 56 in Moorhead. Now there's a lot more opportunity because those sellers, they want to sell their house too. If you're a buyer looking and a house has been on the market for a long time, gives more opportunity for you as a buyer, more negotiating power. But then you'll see this graph here, which is very interesting, I think, which is the percentage of list price. 100% is right here. You can see it stays over 100% a lot of the time. It's not right now, it's in the winter. But during the summer months, it stays above 100%, even though this market is a little bit slower than the other sector of the market. So you gotta think that still shows there's competition in this market. There's still a lot of people looking, and when they see the home they like, they go get it. That's what I always tell my clients all the time. If you walk through a home and you see it's a perfect home for you, and you just get that feeling when you walk through, this is a home for me. Just go get it. You don't want to be negotiating or haggling over small things like a snowblower, or things that don't cost that much money or really aren't that important. It can make you stand out because there's some people who will haggle over the smallest things. And as a seller, which buyer do you think you want to come and buy your home, or which offer do you think you're going to choose? The one haggling over the small things, or the one that's, willing to let the snowblower go? So just keep that in mind and know, if you find the house you like, just go get it and just go buy it when the time is right for you. Just like I talked about at the beginning of this video. This isn't a video to tell you to move at a certain time, to give you advice to move at a certain time. This is a video to break down the market so you know what's going on, how it runs, and how you can approach the market when you decide to move. Now, if you're at a point where you're ready to make a move here in Fargo-Moorhead, we've helped countless homeowners capitalize on their investment and move into their next home, and we've helped countless people buy their first home here in Fargo, North Dakota and Moorhead, Minnesota. Now you can reach out to the Living in Fargo-Moorhead team by giving us a call on the number on the screen or shooting us an email. This is the closed sales in Fargo, and we can see in the month of January, 9 and 4. 13 homes got closed on in this range last month. Now think of how much less that is when it gets almost up to 30 and 40 during the summers. There's no one moving in the winter. That can bring so much opportunity to you as a buyer if you are willing to move in the winter. Now again, like I said, it's a give and take, not as much inventory in the winter for you to negotiate as a buyer in the winter. This was a little market overview of the $350,000 to $500,000 range. Just to summarize again, there's less competition than there is in the first sector, which was the 350,000 and under range. Yet there's still competition. So as you'll see as we go to the luxury properties now, there's kind of 3 tiers to the market. First, way up at the top, you have the luxury tier of the market. It's a little bit slower, houses stay on the market longer, as you'll see as I go farther on in this video. Then you have the middle sector of the market, the $500,000 to $350,000 range. Still a lot of activity, especially in the spring and summer, but not as much activity as a crazy market, $350,000 and under range. That sector of the market, there's a lot going on, a lot happening, and you need to move quick and efficient and be prepared. You always need to be prepared. Doesn't matter what sector of the market, but those are the kind of the 3 sectors of the market and how they run. So it goes from very, very quick to a little bit slower to slower. So that's kind of how this Fargo-Moorhead market is run. And now we're going to go into the luxury properties to break down those numbers now. So we'll see here the months of supply for the $500,000 plus range. It's at 3.2 and 3.8 when the kind of average for the overall market was 2.5. So think of how much less competition there is in this market. We can see the new listings again, 3 hills for the 3 years and the time of the year. Slower in the winter, super quick in the summer, a lot more inventory in the spring and summer. Again, if you haven't heard me say it the 50 times I've said in this video, that's what I'm breaking down. That's how this market runs here in Fargo-Moorhead. Doesn't matter what sector, doesn't matter what type of house, condo, townhome, twin home, whatever it is. Slower in the winter, more activity, more inventory in the summer. Now you can see the homes for sale. This is the total homes for sale in this price range, Fargo 42 and Moorhead 10. And we can see just kind of the same thing. The 3 hills, more in the summer, then it gets down in the winter. We can see above 80 in the summer last year for Fargo. Then now it's at 42. So it almost doubles from the winter to the summer. So a lot more inventory, but a lot more competition too. Now this is a really important graph. This shows what will happen when you sell your home in this sector of the market. Now we'll see the days on market, 97 in Fargo right now, 175 in Moorhead. So for these luxury properties here in Fargo-Moorhead, they're gonna be sitting on the market longer. So if you're selling your home as a luxury homeowner, be ready for it to stay on the market a little bit longer. Just know that. You'll see as I go on, you'll still get good money for your listings, but they just sit longer on the market. That's just how this sector is. So you can see the days on market in this sector of the market hovers between 50 and 100 throughout the whole year. So you know these properties are going to take a little bit longer to sell than the 30, 45 days that the other sectors took to sell. But they're still going to sell, and they're still going to sell for a good price, which we'll see coming up next. The percentage of list price. We can see Fargo is 98.5, Moorhead is 97.4, and we can see the 100 mark right here in the middle. It still routinely gets above 100. Even though the days on market is longer, houses still sell, and there's still people interested in these luxury homes. Now, one other thing I want to mention about this is there's a lot of people that choose to build a luxury home because there's just honestly not a ton of luxury properties and a ton of luxury inventory here in Fargo and Moorhead. So what a lot of people will do is they'll choose to actually build their own luxury home. We have a lot of luxury home builders here in Fargo. I have some great connections to them. If you are interested in getting some more information, you can shoot me an email. But there's a lot of different luxury home builders here who will make sure you can customize your property. When people pay that much for a property, they want to make sure it's perfect for them and their situation. So you'll see a lot of custom homes being built, especially down in Horace, West Fargo, sectors of South Fargo. There's a lot of those being built there. So that's one thing I want to note too. There's a lot more new construction luxury sales than there maybe is previously sold luxury sales. Then we can go to the closed sales. We can see there's only 5 people who closed on a house in this sector of the market in the month of January. So you can think of that. How much less competition is there for you as a buyer in this sector of the market if you choose to move this time of year? Because you think those people who have their homes on the market, they want to sell their home. They're motivated to sell their home, but there's no one else out there looking. So if you as a buyer come in when looking in the winter, it is the winter, it may be cold out there, but there's no one else moving in the winter that can give you so much more opportunity as a buyer just to take advantage of how the market is, because no one else wants to move in the winter. So this is a rare opportunity for you as a buyer to take advantage when it's a winter and no one else wants to move. Now we can still see There's still properties available in the summer and the spring, and a lot more closed sales, of course, with that. So that's just what you need to know. I know this was a long video, but thanks for sticking to the end. And if you found this video helpful, just let me know in the comments below if you want more videos, kind of this style, a lot of explanation, a lot of, in-depth analysis of all the numbers. Just shoot me a comment below and let me know, and I'll give you just a little bit of a summarization. The Fargo-Moorhead real estate market, very seasonal. Not much going on in the winters, a lot going on in the spring and summers. There's low inventory here. There's a lot of new construction happening here. The market is broken down to 3 different sectors. $350,000 and under, where the most activity happens and there's the most competition. $350,000 to $500,000. Still competition, still activity, not as crazy as the other one. Kind of the middle of the road. Then the $500,000 plus, kind of luxury properties, there's not as much competition as the other 2 sectors, but there is still homes being sold for a good price. Now, if you have any other questions on the Fargo-Moorhead real estate market, reach out to the Living in Fargo-Moorhead team by giving us a call or shooting us an email.